Welcome to another episode of Bird Gang Nation Sports Talk. This is your host, Bird Gang 31. Today, we got another special guest today, Mr. CROCKPOT from the Painted Lines. How you doing today, my guy?
What is going on, Bird Gang Nation? I am just super honored to join, talk some birds, talk shop. Eagle season is right upon us, so I'm just honored. Thank you, man.
No problem. I'm happy for you to be here, man. It's always a pleasure having new content creators on the show. You know what I'm saying? I love talking birds all day anyway, so it works for me, you know? So give everybody a little background about yourself. How long you been a birds fan and what you're doing right now.
All right, sure. So I'm one of the partners of the Painted Lines. I run a podcast called Party on Broad with my boy Rob. It is all Philly sports, but mainly Eagles and Sixers. If I had to nail it down, my blood and soul is in player development. I love the NBA draft. I love the NFL draft. I do constant content on those. The NBA draft just wrapped up. We did close to 50 scouting reports, video highlights, mock drafts. It was a grind, man. The grind is real. Same thing with the Eagles. We do tons and tons of content with the NFL draft. So that's my passion. I love following guys from high school through college to the pros, mainly basketball and football. I don't really touch that much on hockey. That's the lowest of the totem pole. Phillies, they're just frustrating to watch. That's a whole other podcast. But yeah, I'm also a nerd, man. As much as I love Sixers, basketball, Eagles, you name it. My first love was Spider-Man. My first love was Batman. I also have a podcast called The Suit Up Geeks, where
nice.
we do movie, TV reviews, Disney, MCU, DC Comics, latest trailer reactions, all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of a nice break for me. Sixers season got pretty rough there at the end. The Eagles season was pretty rough, let's be honest, last year. But for me, it's a nice change of pace. Tomorrow, we're going to do a review of Monsters at Work, which is, comes off Monsters, Inc. It's a new show on Disney Plus. It's really fun. We do Bad Batch reviews. So long story short, I grind a lot. I'm always putting out content every day. I also put out highlight reels and Sixers breakdown, film breakdowns, Eagles breakdowns. You can go check my one out on Steve Nelson. Why he's going to have a huge impact with the Eagles. But that's a little bit about me. I've been an Eagles fan my whole life, since I remember the earliest childhood memories. Families over on Sundays, everyone's swearing at the TV, things are flying, everyone's drunk. It's just what it is. I've never really had a choice. I'm one of those truthers that if you're not 4 for 4, then I'm not even gonna address you. That's how it's. I'm stubborn. I'm arrogant. I like to think I'm pretty realist though. I'm always gonna call it as it is. The Eagles are the only sports team that truly challenge that. Eagles game day, that. I get super emotional. I'll probably say some pretty dumb things. That last Eagles season, we did Tuesday night previews, pregame shows, watch parties, postgame shows. That was probably the most challenging 6 months of my life. Where it wasn't even about me, bro. It was about my daughter. I'm thinking about my daughter having to live through this shit. It was horrible. So that's a little bit about me. I have a wide range here.
Nice, man. I'm definitely going to have to get that link to that, Marvel, that kind of stuff, that page that you're talking about. Cause I don't think I'm subscribed to that one yet, but I do love those type of movies and stuff like that. I got the big 8K TV up in the living room. So It always plays awesome Marvel movies for me. So yeah, man. Well, that's a good breakdown. Let's jump into the birds, baby. Today was the first day of pads. What's your reaction so far in training camp?
Heading into this, it's always about Jordan Mailata. I just cannot stop thinking about, at the end of the day, it's about, protecting Jalen Hurts. At the end of the day, at the end of this season, if you don't have a full picture, a full evaluation of Jalen Hurts, what are we doing here? That changes everything. I feel like we're going to be talking about that a lot throughout this show. But Jordan Mailata being a standout so far through 6 days at training camp, that is major. Wanting him to, truly kind of set the bar for the left tackle position, arguably the most important position in sports. That is huge. I don't think I've seen like a positive tweet about Andre Dillard this entire training camp.
I think I read one today that said he did something else bad or something in practice today. So he's not looking good for him. It doesn't seem like he's gonna win that battle. But do you think if he doesn't win, should we keep him or should we get rid of him?
No, you keep him. You 100% keep him. You've developed him. I'm willing to go that far. Like there was a time when Andre Dillard, like first round pick, he's flashy because he's got so much talent, but dude can't play any other position other than left tackle. It's left tackle or bust for Andre Dillard. You got a guy like Jordan Mailata who will literally play any position you want him to play. That is his mentality. You look at Andre Dillard's mentality, he's soft. The dude is soft. You put him at right tackle, I agree, Vic 3. So you absolutely trade Andre Dillard if the maybe a 4th or 5th round pick comes. 100% you make that move. But for me, it's Jordan Mailata. The other standouts for me, defensive line has been absolutely terrific, especially Josh Sweat. The Josh Sweat breakout season is upon us. I'm excited, man. I'm really excited to see Josh Sweat, just be all over the line. He had 10 sacks the last 2 years, but only played 40% or less of the snaps. I'm excited about the secondary, man. You talk about the 4th worst second in interceptions in the league last year. Defensive takeaways was a major issue. Darius Slay, Steve Nelson, Avonte Maddox gets moved back into the slot. Now you've got Josiah Scott, I think. Guy could also play in the nickel. So suddenly that secondary looks pretty decent. Anthony Harris is a playmaker. Suddenly now you start talking about a great defensive line with behind you a solid secondary. So the defense has kind of been what I have been watching here in training camp a little bit. So those are like my main 3. It's really defense and then protecting Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, man. Mailata's going to do that. You know what I'm saying? He is a beast. He's huge. You know what I'm saying? Him and Sayamalu. I really want to even see if Landon can get healthy this year, and maybe push Sayamala for that guard spot throughout the rest of the year. A lot of people want him to wait, but I'm like, this guy's a beast. You know what I'm saying? If we can get him on the field mid-season, Sayamala is good. I'm not going to say he's a bad player. He's been good for us. But I think this guy is going to be a great player for us. And if we can, sorry, Sayamala, maybe scoot you to the bench for a little while towards the end of the season because he's way bigger. He's way stronger, more athletic to Sayamala. And it definitely can open up some holes a little bit better. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, 100%. And for me, it's run blocking. That's why I want Jordan Mailata and left tackle. He's 100% a better run blocker, one of the top, way better than Andre Dillard. You talk about Jalen Hurts. Again, I'm going to be saying this nonstop. It's talking about setting up the run, using the run to set up the pass. You've got Devontae Smith now. You've got Jalen Reagor now. You've got legit deep threats, and you've got a quarterback that can stretch the field. You can't do that without setting up without establishing the run. That's what I'm really excited about with Nick Sirianni. There's a giant mystery, but you're going to see it on both ends with Jonathan Gannon and Nick Sirianni. You're going to see a lot more pre-snap movement. You're going to see a lot more misdirection on offense. And I think that's going to lead to a lot of success, not only for our running backs, but also and Jalen Reagor in the slot more this season, but for Devontae Smith on the edge, being that guy that can stretch a defense. So you got to set, how many times did we see Doug Peterson abandon the run again and again and again last year? It was nauseating.
I was saying, and I was like, Dougie P messed up after the Super Bowl. He got too big-headed. He just wanted to make big plays, throw the ball down the field. No one sets up the sets up the pass with pass. Dougie P was setting up the pass with pass, and that does not work in football. You got to run to set up the pass. And I think he got a little too cocky to the point where he forgot that, and he just kept passing the ball. We passed the ball 50, 60 times in a game. Who does that? No other team does that. We have an all-star running back in Miles Sanders that's showing you that he can take it the distance on any carry. So why wouldn't you want to force feed him the ball? Dougie P messed up. That's why he's probably not here this year. But like you said, I believe Nick Sirianni will be running the ball a lot more, and that's going to open up the everything. Like, we have too much speed and youth in our offense right now. We got the vets where they need to be at tight end and at line. That's where you need your vets at. And then all the rest of the skill positions is nothing but speed, man. I'm excited. I don't think there's enough fast defenders on anybody's team that's going to be able to stop them if they're clicking right.
And you got versatile guys too. You guys, that how many times do we yell and yell and yell, like roll Carson out of the pocket, roll him out of the pocket, roll him out of the pocket? It didn't happen until Jalen Hurts entered the game. I'm not going to make this about Dougie P, but that is a real thing. I think there is an injection of energy, an injection of youth that's going to come here with Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni and this new offense. A lot of people are excited. I'm excited. I like Miles Sanders, addressing, the elephant in the room. Guy has a lot to prove this year. Mm-hmm. Miles Sanders has a lot to prove. As good as he was, the fumbles, the drops, it was a major problem. So I love seeing that in this training camp. He's working at that. You see him. There's videos of him on social media of working on the passing. That is an area that he flashed so much potential. That was a huge area of his game that truly just went down the toilet last season. Do you
think it was actually his talent, or do you think it was just a lack of carry and a lack of involvement? Because I played running back all the way up to semi-pro. And if I bust out an 80-yard run, I'm in the front of the coach like, hey, give me the ball again. Yeah. Give me the ball again. And to sit there for a whole quarter and not get the ball no more, that's kind of going to make me a little unmotivated. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think that some of those hiccups were just because he wasn't as motivated because, Dougie P wasn't feeding him the ball?
100%. I don't think it's a talent issue at all. I think the talent is there. But I think there was major chemistry issues. I think there were major miscommunication issues. Not even Miles Sanders. It went from the top to Carson. Mm-hmm. You saw, like, what were the reports? I don't want to get into Carson. I think we're talking about Carson later. Mm-hmm. But it was chemistry. You saw, like, how many times was he wide open on a wheel route and Carson flat out missed him. So there are, and Miles is 100% to blame too. There were so many drops. So that is an area that, and all accounts so far this training camp is Miles Sanders, number one, Boston Scott, number two, running back. And I'm excited to, it's just simple, football is about fundamentals. It's about winning in the trenches. When's the last time you guys saw a good screen game in Philadelphia? It's been like forever.
Westbrook time. Or Shady time. Maybe Shady before after Westbrook. Shady has some nice screens in the backfield back there. But yeah, man.
Unless like Boston Scott's playing against the New York Giants, like the screen game is non-existent on the Eagles. So I'm glad to see Boston Scott getting some love here in training camp. He's been playing really well. And I'd love to see the Eagles bring back that screen game. Like it's just nauseating. I want to see Jalen Hurts use Miles Sanders and Boston Scott in the checkdowns. Like there are a lot of it's just fundamental issues on the Eagles last year that I love seeing some of the chemistry I'm hearing so far in training camp.
So you think Boston's going to keep that second role?
I mean, to start the season, yes.
Yeah, to start the season, because I was looking at Kerryon Johnson thinking that he might be the second back, and then Gainwell's kind of like your 2B, I guess, because he's going to get on the field if he does, if he has a good camp, keeping him in that pass game, keeping him in that, that's why I thought Boston might got pushed off the roster just for the simple fact that you just drafted Gainwell with a third-round pick, and he is kind of that guy that can catch the ball from anywhere, from the backfield, from the slot, out wide, you know what I'm saying? So if he's doing all that catching, Miles Sanders is going to get a couple of catches. You already know that. Like, there's not that many, passing plays set up for the running back. That's why I thought maybe, Boston Scott might be that odd man out there.
100%. I definitely, I'm a huge Kenny Gainwell fan. I think we have a comment here. He's not playing well. That is 100% true. He's kind of struggled a little bit here, standing out so far through 6 days. I think Boston Scott brings that, Nyheim Hines element that Nick Sirianni looks at. And that's, Boston Scott's a playmaker. How many times did it's almost ridiculous how many times I yelled at the TV screen, like, where's Boston Scott? Put in Boston Scott. At least he'll have some playmaking for this offense, which was non-existent last year. I think, Yeah, I think Gainwell will get his opportunity down, as the season progresses a little bit. I just think it's a little too soon.
Yeah, so you don't think right off the jump he's not going to be featured too much in the offense? It'd be more towards the middle of the season type situation.
Exactly. Not yet. There's already too much youth going on right now in this offense. I think Kenny Gainwell is going to get his time, but not yet.
Okay. So what if you think? Tell me how many you think we're going to keep running backs, and who are they going to be?
I have not done my 53-man prediction yet. Oh
You don't have
man.
to be in order. Like you don't have to give me a depth chart with it, but just your opinion on which running back you think we're going to be keeping this year.
I'll go 4. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go Sanders. I'll go Carry On. I'll go Boston, and I'll go Gainwell. Who am I missing there? Adrian Killens.
Holyfield. You seen that guy? I was watching Holyfield in practice, man. That dude looks like a monster. That dude's ripped. A big boy. We didn't really get any of our running backs got a chance last year to get developed. They're still talking about Jason Huntley's having a good camp too. He's another guy back there having a good camp. I don't really hear too much about Killings though. Even though I heard they moved him to receiver, he was still playing running back. They're just moving him all over the place. So I'm not sure what his role will be this year. But yeah, man, I think that's another sleeper I made a video about. I think Holyfield got a sleeper's chance of being there. He's kind of fast. He's very powerful, and that could be our power back we're looking for. He don't have very much wear on the tire. He's been on the team for what, 2 years now, and he ain't got no PT really. So, he got some health there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that a little closer. We have Vic 3 saying Jordan Howard. I totally forgot he was there, to be honest. I love Jordan Howard. I like in the right offense. I love Jordan Howard, and he could be that kind of guys that third and short back, and they need that guy. They need that guy. They have needed one of those guys. So yeah, I think there are some definitely areas that I think they'll probably lean more towards, other than running back, to add to this roster. Guys that can play special teams. Who's that tight end? The 6'7" tight end. I like Tyree Jackson.
Oh, yeah. Tyree Jackson.
It's just absolutely lighting it up right now. I think there are other. I think they would lean more towards the offensive line. I think they'll always lean more towards the defensive line. Same as the secondary. They'll be playing a ton of nickel, obviously. I see a lot of versatility there in that secondary. Yeah, Holyfield could have a chance. He could definitely have a chance. Subscribe, guys. Share the love. Subscribe.
Yeah, if you ain't subscribed to either one of our channels, get on there. What you doing? Go subscribe. Both links are in the comments. So make sure you do your job. Show us some love and subscribe. Much love to all you guys that are in the chat right now. Can't do this without you guys. Yeah, and that's just another guy. Like you were just saying, too, with Howard. Howard, I just feel like he's already been here. And he hasn't really – he had, one really a decent year with us, but then the other year he's out like most of the year with a stinger. Holyfield's younger. I think you might want to go ahead and give him a shot to go ahead if you want that power back, because he looked bigger than me in practice. Maybe I'm tripping, but from what I've seen in a preview and in that highlight clip, he looked a lot bigger. You know what I'm saying? So, but another position, like you were saying too, Tyree Jackson, no one was really talking about him. We got Ertz back here now, and it don't seem like he's going anywhere unless this is just a front to make teams want to offer more for him. You know what I'm saying? How he's like, I'm not getting what I want. Let's go ahead and acclimate you back to the team. Show the world that you like being here. You're making moves, you know what I'm saying, to get that trade value a little bit higher. And then right before the season, boom, you're out of here. Because you still got other tight ends too. We re-signed Richard Rodgers. We got Jack Stahl. We got Kroom back there. We got Wilson back there. And now you're talking about we just brought in that Tyree Jackson. That's a lot of tight ends, man. A lot of tight ends.
And do not even it should if it becomes even a question, my heart will completely break. If Greg Ward becomes part of the numbers game, I will cry. I will legit cry. Greg Ward's my guy. I'm a big Greg Ward fan. I get made fun of it all the freaking time on my show. So if that becomes like Holyfield or Greg Ward, oh man, that's going to be a sad day for me for sure. And by the way, I do own a lot of CROCKPOTs. If you follow me on Twitter, I'm really big into smoking meats and cooking. So I post tons of cooking photos all the time.
Nice. You like to cook? I love to cook, man.
Love it, man. It's my
passion. Love cooking too, man. But yeah, so We got a tight end battle. We got a line battle. We got a running back battle. The quarterback is even heating it up. I heard Nick Mullins is out playing Flacco right now for that number 2 spot. What's your take on that one? Because my deal is I don't really care, because I'm just hoping we can go through a whole season without having to use the backup quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Hoping that Jalen Hurts can stay healthy all 17 games plus the playoffs, and we don't have to use him. But if we did, I'm going with Mr. Mullins.
Well, I don't even care. The quarterback position battle means nothing to me. It's all about Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts is not playing, it is Nick Mullins or Joe Flacco back there. We've got major.
We got a problem. Houston, we have a problem.
I mean, on the good news is probably you're a lock for 3-4 wins next year, and now you're talking about one of these top quarterbacks in the 2022 draft. But position battles, it always comes back to me offensive line. For me, it's Mailata. I already touched on it. Beating Andre Dillard. He seems like after they've kind of rotated a lot the first few days, and especially today. Jordan Mailata, is really starting to cement himself. He's going up against Brandon Graham, the Derek Barnett's, the Josh Wetts, and holding his own every time. Andre Dillard, man, it's time to go. Get your ass out of here. It's time to go.
Mm-hmm. Rich said, "What veterans are on the Eagles is endangered of being cut?" I think he just said one of them for sure. We're looking at that guy Ward. We got a lot of young talent. And the thing is, a lot of people love Ward because he did the basics that all the receivers should have did, and that's catch the ball. We went through a stretch where receivers weren't catching the ball. They were getting open, not catching. So when Ward came in and he was clutch at catching it, that just made us gravitate towards him a lot more than we probably would normally had if we had 2 good stars on the team. Now we have all this injection of youth in our receiving core with Smith, Rager, and Watkins. And then don't forget, you got Hightower and Fulgham. That I don't know, man. He might be that.
Oh man,
and I hate to say it and break your heart, but he's not very fast. He's reliable, but that's what your tight end is for. Your tight end should be your receiver. Yeah, your receiving blanket. That's the person you want to go to if no one else is open. Go ahead and hit the tight end. Boom. Now Ward, he done did his thing. He's if you had to say who earned a spot out of all the receivers, you will have to go with Ward. But I'm just saying, though, there is that possibility that Ward might not make it. If I had to go with another one, I would say maybe Barnett don't make it. Can I hear Jackson on the other side? Is that his name? Wow. Johnson? Which one?
Yeah, Aaron Johnson.
Johnson on his side is having a good camp. And we already know, we both touched on that. Sweat is the man, and he is about to dominate this year. You know what I'm saying? Him and Kerrigan coming off that end, too. Kerrigan's doing good. Everybody give the Washington line credit, but if you're going to give him credit, you got to give it to Kerrigan, too, because Chase had 6.5 sacks last year, but Kerrigan had 6.5 sacks, too, and he played like a third of the time, just kind of like what we said with Josh Sweat. So, for me, I always think that player is a little bit more better than the one that was playing full time. You know what I'm saying? He produced a higher rate than we got competition everywhere, man. Like you said, we are locked in and loaded. We can afford maybe 1 or 2 injuries depending on both sides of the ball to not really be dramatically destruct where we're like, oh my God, he got hurt. It's done. We're done, Unless you say, like you said, if Jalen Hurts get hurt. That's knock on wood.
No. Yep.
Yeah, not gonna work. We definitely don't want that to happen. We don't want that to happen at all, man.
Greg Ward, man, you're killing me, bro. Like that. Like here's the thing about Greg Ward. He's like the adult in the room. Like Quez Watkins is looking really good in camp. John Hightower has flashes. You've got obviously Jalen Rieger playing a lot more in the slot though. But dude is a question mark right now. The dude is a question mark. He's going to be playing a lot in the slot. Devontae is going to be playing a lot of slot, but he'll be a lot more on the outside. Here's the thing. You got to have a guy that knows the offense. You got to have a guy that you can depend on. You got to have a guy that can give you exactly what you expect. He runs good routes. He's going to catch the ball. There's so much youth on this offense. I would be really hesitant to cut Greg Ward here over a guy like John Hightower or Ortega Whiteside. Like that would be my pick.
Ooh,
For me, Greg Ward makes
ooh,
this.
we didn't bring up JJ like that, but
No,
I
he's
heard he's
terrible.
doing good, man.
Ah,
But you gotta realize all these guys are all at the, they all started at ground zero. We got a new playbook, we got a new coaching staff, so it's not like you can
yep.
use the past history to play in your advantage this year. That's what I like about Nick. He's bringing that competition now. He's like, I don't even care if you're a star on our team, or you're the last guy on the roster. Competition starts. Everybody got a shot. Show me what you got. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's like. Show me what you got. And if you're good, you good. If you work, maybe you worked in Dougie P's system, but maybe you don't work so well in like Nick Sirianni's system. That there's player fits and coach fits. You know what I'm saying? All around the NFL. Just like how we normally have one little receiver, one big receiver, and then a speedster at slot. Who knows? That might not be the setup this year for Nick. Everybody's like Fulgham's going to start. But, Fulgham would start if Dougie P was here just because he had that big body receiver. But he's not here no more. I want to see personally Smith and Watkins on the outside with Rager in the slot. That would be my ideal lineup because that's just speed, and speed. And Devontae got speed and he can be that reliable, sure hand catch guy too. So he's double dipping. The other two definitely got speed. Rager is more the bigger one out of the three. They got more size, so you can get him over the middle a lot more. And they take them, contested catches, and make some big plays off of those. So we shall see, man. We shall see how that one works out, man.
Nailed it. Yeah, I fully agree. Yeah. And JJ's been playing a lot more in the slot so far in training camp. So that is something that he didn't do a lot under Doug Peterson. So yeah, that is the mystery. Like I'm excited for preseason. I'm excited to see how he rolls these wide receivers out and what to expect this season.
I said, it seems like a lot more injuries happening around the league and training. You know what though? None of them had an off season last year. So I think it should be expected early. Like I don't really care that Devontae Smith hurt. From all the work I've seen him putting in this whole offseason, he can take a break. What I'm saying? I don't think he's gonna be missing a beat. The coaches still have high praise for him. Still love him and thinks that he's amazing. So as long as the coach still have that ideal on him, I think he can take a break. He's been dominating, and ain't no system rushing him back. I'd rather him get hurt now. We're gonna be out 2 or 3 weeks, than wait to the season. And now you're out 2 or 3 weeks, and that costs you 2 or 3 games. So I want everybody to go ahead and get banged up now, get it out of the way, because it happens in football. I'd rather it happen now, and go ahead and get it out of the way, and then once the season starts, you be ready to roll.
My only concern about that is Devontae. Devontae, like that injury sucks, man. That straight sucks because the fact that you're going into the preseason game with like Rieger playing maybe out of position or something like, no, I want these guys to have clear defined roles within Nick Sirianni's offense. Rieger, play the slot, move, misdirection, move all around, pre-snap. Like that's a little kind of concerning. Obviously, we're all excited to see Devontae Smith get his first catch, but that injury truly hurt when it was announced.
Yeah, but it's a knee twist, when you cutting on a dime like that, sometimes that hurt. That happens. It happens, man. And it's just like it's not that big of a deal, as long as he didn't tear nothing when it twists, as long as he didn't, overpull something when it twists where he's out later. Are you reading that contract?
No. Alshon cannot come back.
No, neither one of them. If I had to go get a veteran receiver to try to implement into this offense, it would be Larry Fitzgerald.
Yes. I'm down.
Fixes still play. He might not be the fastest, but he's fast enough, and he still plays at a decent level. Like he had a decent season last year. He catches everything too. If we're gonna go out there and get an old guy, it better be Larry Fitzgerald. I don't want Alshon back here. I don't want Golden Tate. He didn't do nothing when he was here. So both of those guys will be off my list.
Yeah, man.
They said Fulgham's looking good. I know it's all early, but Jason Rager's tending towards a bust. Ooh. Rager's dealing with some emotional stuff right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always say you can't ever put too much on a person for how they react when they have someone close to them die. He had a good friend die. I'm not going to be tough on him right now. Now, once the season starts rolling around, if he's still playing like crap, then I'm going to be on your ass. But right now, I think this next week, everybody just need to be cool with Rager. Let him deal with this the way he got to deal with it. I'm sure it's going to bounce. He's going to bounce back from that, and he'll be all good.
Yeah, I'm a big Jalen Reagor guy. Shane in the comments knows it.
Mm-hmm.
I was Reagor over Justin Jefferson. I called Reagor to the Eagles like months before the draft. And I got killed for it. I got killed for it every single week by my co-hosts, and it is what it is. But I mean, there are so many barriers in front of Jalen Reagor and why he struggled last year. Everything was just a hot mess that resulted. What was Jalen Hurts' like time in the pocket? It was like just barely over 2 seconds. It was brutal. Like there was no way you could extend this stretch the field on offense last year, and they abandoned the run. The offensive line injuries, the horrendous play calling, the horrendous play by Carson Wentz. There was just all of it was just a hot mess. So I am actually one of those that believes Jalen Reagor. I'm kind of an optimist.
I still believe in him. I tell everybody, we could have drafted Jefferson last year, and the same crap could have happened. He could have sucked here last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, not offseason, the way Carson was playing, the way our offensive line wasn't there. You need an offensive line to win any football games, period. If your offensive line is down to your third and fourth, and hell, some of these guys off the street, you're not going to win very many football games. So everybody might be clamoring over Justin Jefferson, but Justin Jefferson could have got drafted last year and not done nothing. If that's still the other side of the, spectrum that people aren't even looking at. I still have faith in Reagor too. He plays this whole year. And if he plays this whole year and don't light it up at all, then we can start calling him bust. You know what I'm saying? Then we can start calling him bust. But it's a little too early for that.
He would have been injured like week 2. It's like death taxes and first round draft picks getting hurt. Like that's how the Eagles roll. So he would have been out of the lineup like really early.
The real says Howie saving cheddar to go get OBJ from Cleveland as it resides. Ooh, hey, I wouldn't be mad at him. I like OBJ. If you bring OBJ to the team, now we're really legit. Having him on the other side, we're having him on the other side of Smith with Rager and Watkins. Oh man, we might be talking Super Bowl. Super Bowl or bust.
We got to know what we have in Jalen Hurts first. Let's see what we're.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's gonna make Jalen's job that much easier if we go get OBJ. Don't you think so? Now he can catch everything.
Of course. But the offensive line needs to show that it can stay healthy for once. Jalen Hurts has to show he can be more accurate. He needs to show that he can actually be decent in second halves. He has to show that he can make more than one read. There's a lot in Jalen Hurts that we don't know yet. So it's exciting. I'm excited to see what he can be under Nick Sirianni with more misdirection. Like his floor is really high. Is he the franchise quarterback? I am not sure on that at all. I think it's literally a coin flip right now.
You're not sold on Hurts?
No,
I was sold on Hurts after the second game from last year. I knew this guy. But listen, I've been watching Hurts since he was in college, man. This guy's a winner. You know what I'm saying? He's a straight winner. He kicked Alabama out of the college playoff when he went to OU and had a better year than Tua. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, F you guys. You didn't want me, F you. Now you guys sit at home, watch me play the college. Came to the NFL, sat the bench for no offseason. Oh, I'm not going to win against the Saints. Really? Come in, boom, win. Went toe-to-toe with Kyler Murray. Broke records that's been held from rookie quarterbacks for 70 years. That's enough. That's all I need. Because he did it with the B team last year. No one even know how awesome he's going to be this year with a healthy starting offensive line, with more weapons than you had last year playing, with a better defense to get you the ball back. I got Jalen Hurts being a dark horse MVP.
Woo!
Straight up.
Love it.
Straight up.
Love it, man. Now there are a lot of positives. Like I said, I'm an optimist, and I do think that there's definitely a path where Jalen Hurts could have a really good season. You touched on a lot of it, the intangibles, the leadership, like that 1-2 duo between him and Devontae Smith. Like they're gamers. They're 100%. They're all business, and that is really exciting to think about. on the field, off the field. I love that potential between those two moving forward. But I do think that, there's a lot to learn about Jalen Hurts and his ability to, be a quarterback in the pocket, make more than one read. He's got a lot to learn still. But I'm not the flashes were 100% there. I would out of everything he had to deal with, all the injuries on the offensive line last year, the terrible wide receiver play, the terrible play calling. I was right around that B+ range. A lot was thrown at him, and I thought he handled it really well. I was really impressed.
So if you had to rank him, where do you rank him in the league?
Oh, he's not top 20 yet. He's got a long way to go. I would probably say he's dude, he's only played a few games. Come on, man.
Dude, a lot of these players only played a few games. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of players on that list that start on other teams that haven't even played games and only were rookies last year. People still give high praise to Burrow. And Burrow played 4 games before he got hurt, 5 games last year before he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? Sunshine over there in Jacksonville is being held king of Jacksonville already, and he hadn't even played a game. Tua still gets love, and he sucked last year. Jimmy G sucks. And he's still considered a top quarterback. Jimmy G he has a great winning percentage, but he's not a great quarterback. Trey Lance has already been held the starter over there, and he's not even starting. The coaches can't even do it. I feel like there's too many question marks for all the quarterbacks in the league. You know what I'm saying? From Dallas to Dak Prescott. He just had a major injury, and he just hurt his shoulder again. You know what I'm saying? So
did he really?
Dak, yeah, he just hurt his
shoulder.
Got
hurt.
Yeah. Okay. And that's 2 injuries now you got to look at before the beginning of the season. Once he started getting banged up, he ain't even been hit yet. Wait till he started having people fall next to his leg, after sitting out all last year. He going to have some ghosts. You going to see some ghosts, you know what I'm saying? All you're going to have to do is go hit Dallas, Dak Prescott the mouth one good time in the beginning of the game. I promise you see ghosts the rest of the game, man. There's not enough good quarterbacks to be Hurts can't be top 15.
Yep. It goes back to everything we talked about at the beginning of the show. It goes back to Miles Sanders. It goes back to the offensive line. Jordan Mailata taking that next step. Miles Sanders catching the ball, not fumbling. It goes, to everything we talked about earlier. What Nick Sirianni's offense is going to look like, Devontae Smith's health, all those pieces in play. Will they set up the run? Will they establish the run to set up the pass and put Jalen Hurts in a position to succeed? All the pre-snap movement with Jalen Reagor. Will they put Jalen Reagor in position to succeed? These are all things that we've seen from Nick Sirianni do in the past. My only thing is we haven't seen it yet. So I'm more of those I respect that optimism.
I feel you. I do. That a lot, but what I tell those Eagles fans is you had all off season to be optimistic about it. The season is here now. It's time to jump on that train, baby. And we got to ride or die with these guys. Those are our soldiers out there fighting. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to give them the highest praise until proven otherwise. Jalen Hurts, MVP. Miles Sanders, Pro Bowl. Devontae Smith, Rookie of the Year. Offensive line, best in the league. Defensive line, best in the league. Secondary, shutting down. You know what I'm saying? Until you prove me otherwise, that's how I see the team going into this year. You know what I'm saying? Even my record, 12-5, maybe 13-4. You know what I'm saying? If we have a really hot season, I don't see.
Wow.
Who can you tell me that you can confidently say right now, if we go line up, that we wouldn't have a chance against? The only two that anybody's ever said is the Chiefs and the Bucks, and I believe we could beat both of those guys, or at least split those 2 games. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, what other team? What team in our division are you scared of? I'm not scared of none of them. Danny Food Stamps ain't doing nothing. Dak's gonna be seeing ghosts, and the no-namers. They got magic that he's only magic for half the season. So there's nothing really scary in our division. I see us sweeping the whole division except for Dallas week 17, because we're going to be already got our playoff seed, and we're going to be sitting our starters. So they might get the, split because of that. But that's how I see the division shaping up. And outside division, maybe the Chargers, you know what I'm saying? I can see the Chargers if that would be an upset. It's not going to be no blowout, but maybe the Chargers, maybe, the Chiefs, because Andy Reid got our number. Okay, maybe Tampa Bay, because Tom Brady, but we got Tom Brady's number. We know how to put it to Tom Brady, so I ain't really scared of him like that. But that defense is kind of something serious to mess with. But other than that, the rest of the schedule's open. I see, like, you have to show me that you can beat us. You got to show me that you can beat our team. Because other than that, those guys are all going to get them L's. We're going to be cooking a lot of L's. The rent is due, man. And we ain't missing no payments, like Jalen said. Ain't no payments going to get missed this year. What up, Coach?
I hope, obviously, I hope you're right, but I'm a more of a wait and see. We've been kind of saying the same things the last several years, preseason. We can talk about the offensive line. Oh, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good. When's the last time they've stayed healthy? When's the last time we saw player development on the Philadelphia Eagles? I'm excited to see Zach McPherson laying some wood in training camp. That's something we haven't seen from a young Eagles cornerback. So there are things that in this Eagles offense, we need to see the young guys take that next step. Mm-hmm. The proof is in the pudding. That has not happened on the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm
saying, what to that point is everybody's acting like what happened last year is normal for our team. You got to go back the last 5-6 years. We've been in the playoffs every year, like 4 of the last 5 years. We've had winning records. So winning is what is used for us. You know what I'm saying? The year before last, we were 9-7, and everybody was giving that team crap, saying that they were starting to look garbage with 9-7 record going into the playoffs. Now we had last year happen. I tell all fans, you got to erase that. See, that's not real. It was like it didn't even really happen. You got to erase it. That was that end of Carson, Doug. They went out soft, and that was not even a normal Eagles season. I take it from you got to start at what happened the last time you said this sucked, and that was 2 years ago when they were 9-7, went to the playoffs, and we lost that game. You know what I'm saying? Take it from there. 9-7. If that wasn't good, then you got to look at we have better talent this year than we had on that team. We have younger players and better talent on our team now. You know what I'm saying? You can even say we have a better quarterback because Carson, that was Carson beginning of him going down. Now you look at that, you got to start at 10 wins. To me, I don't see us losing more than 10 wins this year. Having less than 10 wins this year, because that would be a better year for all these fans saying, oh, we go 7 or 8 wins and that'd be a good season. For who? For us? For what we've been doing? Erase last year because that is not a good season. There's a whole nother game this year. And you're telling me 8 wins will be good for you? No. I'll be screaming out of my mind if we lost. And we only won 8 games this year. That would be horrible. It was not a success because we did better than 4. Fuck that 4 season. That 4 season, everybody's got to erase that season completely out of your head because that is not a judgment. That has no level of any kind of semblance of what an Eagle team looked like.
It didn't. And you know what? I'll just to kind of piggyback off of what you said. I go back to this time last year. You look at the rest of the NFC East, coaching changes all over the place. Who was the one team that had, some semblance of a front office, consistency in that front office? It was the Philadelphia Eagles, and they just shot the bed. It was the exact opposite. I was really high on the Eagles last year coming in as well. So who knows? You got Nick Sirianni, you've got Jonathan Gannon. You've got kind of 2 guys there that are leading the way that are going to play to their player strengths. And I fully agree. I fully agree with everything you just said regarding that was not Eagles football. That was I don't even want to talk about it. Those were some dark days, man. Those were some real dark days that it was just a pain to watch game in, game out. But I respect the optimism. I'm just in that camp where I want to see it first because I have been fooled many times. I'm a little older. I've seen a lot of bad football. I've had my eyes.
I've seen my share of Eagles bad football, man. I am old. I ain't gonna lie about it. I might look young, but I'm old. This month in a couple of days, like 2 weeks, I'll be 40. So what I'm saying? I'm old. I watched some losing Eagle seasons go down. But I do know over the last 10, 15 years, we've been a winning team. Regardless if we won the Super Bowl, we only won it once. But we've been to the playoffs, even the Donnie era. We went to the playoffs 5 straight years in a row, NFC championships. You know what I'm saying? That's huge. We've always been winning. You know what I'm saying? It's just the hump we were never getting over. We wouldn't give over the hump in the playoffs, but we were winning, making it to the playoffs, going to the playoffs and stuff like that. That's our culture nowadays. It's a winning, hard fighting football team. We might not win all the Super Bowls, but we're definitely winners. And like you said, 9-7 for me, and everybody was like, "Oh, that was an all right year, whatever. We went to the playoffs, whatever." And I'm cool with that. If that happened, whatever. But this 8 games, the 6 games being great, being a good season. Everybody's waiting for next year. We haven't even started this year, so who cares about next year? Like, come on, guys, you can't write us off this year and then go to next year with it. Like, come on. You want to skip fast forward through this whole season? There's a lot of exciting football to watch, man. There's a lot of big plays. I look at Hurts having at least 40 touchdowns, 30 passing and 10 rushing. Devontae Smith's going to catch him at least 10 to 12 touchdowns. I'm ready to see Miles Sanders have more than 3 80-yard runs in the season. I want to see him have like 7, 8. You never know, because we didn't give him a ball enough to find out. To give him the ball for what we did give him, he showed us that he had 3 out of lack of carries. And then what's going to happen when we just keep feeding him the rock? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you had an 80-yard run? Guess what? I'm going to reward you by giving you the ball back. You know what I'm saying? Here you go, the ball back again. Here you go, the ball back again. You know what I'm saying? Then, all you guys will creep up into the box. Guess what? Pew! Touchdown. Like,
that's it, man. That's it.
I think Devontae's going to have big numbers, and it won't even be like everybody thinks he's going to be that guy that's going to get like 10, 12 catches a game. I don't even think he needs that. I don't even think he's going to get that. But he will get over 100 yards. But it's going to be like the old school way, where it's like kind of like Deshaun Jackson over 100 yards. 7 catches, like 200 yards receiving, because every time the boy's going to be wide open. He's putting DBs on skates right now. Wait till the season starts. We have some pretty decent DBs, and not every team has decent DBs. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's only like 3, 4 elite cornerbacks in the league right now. Everybody else is kind of on the same playing field. You know what I'm saying? We have big Darius Slay. He's one of the best corners in the league still, even having a down year last year. He's still one of the best. So if he putting this guy on skates scoring touchdowns to him, what make you think he won't do it to the rest of the league?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We will see. That is like that. Like, there's a lot of question marks up in the air, at least for me. And I'm excited to see how it all plays out. You nailed it, man. What you just said there. Will Miles Sanders have that 80-yard run and Nick Sirianni go back to him and continue to exploit that mismatch? Doug Peterson didn't do any of that last year. None of that. How many times did we see, Miles Sanders 4 or 5-yard runs, back, boom, 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 and then Miles Sanders doesn't touch the ball for an entire quarter
or the rest of the game even. Remember that one game he had like 3 carries or something like that?
Yeah.
Like,
no,
how do you win a football game if you're not running the ball?
Dude, I don't want to. It's hard to talk about. It really is. It brings back bad memories. But that is it. That is it. If you want Jalen Hurts to succeed this year, if you want the Eagles to win the division, for me personally, because they fixed the secondary, I think that was one of the biggest weaknesses. The defensive line is going to be very solid. We all know that. It comes back to having an efficient offense and establishing the run. And if they can do that, a lot changes.
Heck yeah, man. Well, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see these young guys prove themselves. Everybody has something to prove, whether they're young or vets. A lot of these guys are playing for their, Eagle lives. Because some of these guys ain't going to be here next year, regardless on if we win or lose. Contracts are looking huge. I know they've just re-signed Lanes and I think Barnett's. But you know how the Eagles do. Sometimes they redo that kind of stuff to make a trade too. So be on the lookout. I've been telling everybody, don't be sleeping on Howie. I don't think he's done yet. I think there's another move or two that Howie's looking to do. And, he sees Sweat out there beasting. He's like, we drafted a young guy. They've been moving Milton out there to get him more PT. And even Fletcher Cox said he's a beast, So you look at that, that's a nice little chess piece. Go ahead and keep hyping Barnett up, saying, oh, we have 2 starters. Yeah, we got 2 starters in Barnett and Sweat. Yeah. And then watch, boom. Barnett's gone. There's $10 million more. Add to the cap, man. Add to the cap.
That is so important for Josh Sweat to become that like impact starter. I can't even speak to how vital that is to this defense and how vital it is to this team moving forward. Like if you had to like rank the top needs like for the Eagles like draft wise, like defensive line is on the top of that list. They have to have an impact starter given their age on that defensive line. If Josh Sweat steps up, because I'm done with I like Derek Barnett's a fine rotation guy. That's all he is. But if Josh Sweat takes that next step in this Jonathan Gannon defense, like we said earlier, like that just crosses off a need and just adds more ammo to either side of the ball.
All right. Yeah, I agree. Now, what I like to do with the people is, before you get up out of here, I need your all-time Eagles team, my guy. Are you ready? We're going to break it down. I'm going to give you the little breakdown. You're going to give it to me. We're going to start out with quarterback. Who's your starter and who's your backup?
Oh, wait, I have to pick starters and backups?
Yeah. Out of anybody that played quarterback for the Eagles in history, this is your all-time Eagles team. So who's your starter and who's your backup?
Starter, I didn't know I had to do starters and backups. All right, I'll go. This is fun. I'll go Randall as my number one. Randall Cunningham for me is my starter. He was my first love when I was a kid watching the Birds. Many of my memories as an Eagles fan as a child is Randall Cunningham, pound for pound, one of the best athletes in Philly sports history. And my backup, I'm going to go Nick Foles. I got to go Nick Foles. He's
the best backup of all time ever.
Exactly. Yeah, there it is. Sure.
All right. Well, give me your 3 running backs.
3? All right, 3 running backs. Do I have to pick starters or I'm good?
You can do it in order. I always start out with the quarterback just to see who your number 1 quarterback is. But the rest of this, you can just do any order. Just name it.
Okay. Obviously, B West. I'm going Brian Westbrook as my number 1. He lacks size, but the dude was one of the best weapons in the NFL. He kind of paved the way for that modern NFL run. Like back in the day, it was like Marshall Faulk and Westbrook in terms of receiving threats. And you look at today's NFL, like that is such a vital skill set for a lot of running backs here. So number 2, I'll go Shady. I was a big fan of Shady when he was here in Philly. Like if he was obviously still in Philly, he'd be probably arguably the greatest of all time. And then here, for my controversial one, this is from my heart.
This your team, baby. No controversy. It's your team.
I've got some lightning in Shady and Westbrook, and I'm going to bring some thunder. And for me, that is Deuce Staley. I love
Deuce been on the list. Deuce been on the list. That's not bad. Deuce was a beast back there. He did good things, man. He did good things. Him, Buckhalter together. Remember those years? That was good. That was good football, man. Give me 2 tight ends.
2 tight ends. I'm going to go Zach Ertz, game-winning touchdown, Super Bowl, enough said. Then I'm going to go Brent Selleck. You look at the way this Eagles team has just been decimated by injuries, but this guy missed only 1 game in 11 years. And Brent Selleck, you knew what you were getting week in, week out. Brent Selleck for me.
Okay, 4 receivers.
All right, I'll go Mike Quick. Mike Quick again. What's that?
I say Quick.
Yeah, Mike Quick, just pillar of consistency. I'll go T.O. I'll never forget that touchdown bomb between 5 and T.O. in that Baltimore Ravens game in the preseason. One of the just hype moments of my life as an Eagles fan. I'll go D-Jax, just again, walking, running, highlight reel. And I'll go Jeremy Maclin. Give me Jeremy Mack. J-Mac, last Eagles receiver to get 1,000 yards. I think people don't talk enough about how good he was in those few seasons he was before he left.
Okay. Give me your starting 5 offensive linemen.
I'm getting messages here. All right. I'm going to go left tackle Trey Thomas. Trey Thomas started all 17 playoff games under Andy Reid. You look at the Eagles offensive line, Trey Thomas was a sure thing. Brandon Brooks. Brandon Brooks is my left guard here. When he's healthy, he's one of the best of the best. Jason Kelsey, Super Bowl speech, enough said, at center. Todd Herremans is my right guard here. Again, just like Brian Westbrook was like that hybrid running back that we see today. Todd Harriman's could play anywhere on that offensive line and thrived, absolutely thrived. And then I love my tackles. I didn't pick Jason Peters, who I love, but I love, my tackles as like nasty. I love that like physical nastiness, and I'm gonna go John Runyon here as well. Like a lot of my guys, this guy always was ready to go. He fought through so many injuries, and he just played with that like nastiness that I love, and that is Eagles football for me. So Runyon rounds it up there.
All right, let's go defensive line. Who's starting that line?
Reggie White, obviously. I mean, did anybody not pick Reggie White? Can I ask?
I think one person didn't pick Reggie White, and then we told him he didn't pick Reggie White, and then he was like, "Oh, but yeah, Reggie White."
All right, so where's Eagle? I didn't grow up watching Harold Carmichael, so he was before my time. So that's important. So all this list is obviously guys that I grew up watching.
He can pick who he wants to, Richie.
I'm gonna go Jerome Brown. Rest in peace. People don't talk about how just a beast he was when he played. He doesn't have the gaudy stats, but dude wasn't quick, or dude wasn't that big and strong, but was a bull. Was an absolute bull. And I'll go Fletcher Cox. He might be inconsistent, but when he's on and playing, like he is an animal. He's an absolute animal and an impact guy. And then I don't know if this would be a shock for some people, but Trent Cole is my other guy.
Yeah,
I'm going
Trent Cole's been on the list. Yeah,
I love it. Good, because like you talk about like a 5th round pick. Talk about Josh Sweat, 4th round pick, I believe. The dude Trent Cole was 3rd most games played as an Eagle. Was just that consistent rock that you knew, best in the league every single week. Trent Cole, there's a pattern here because I've been like, my nightmare is these last few Eagles teams where they just get injured, and all these guys played every single week. So that's my defensive line.
3 linebackers.
All right, obviously Trot. I mean that is
Trot's in the middle, baby.
Yeah, no question. The Axeman is the hands down one of the greatest play celebration plays after most plays ever. I remember watching him just laying it. Linebacker, I'll go Seth Joyner. Seth Joyner was absolutely terrific. And then William Thomas for the same reason. You look at the modern linebacker, the name of the game is not just rushing the quarterback or stopping the run, but dropping back in coverage and being, quick and agile enough to do so. William Thomas, Seth Joyner, they got a shit ton of interceptions in their career here in Philadelphia. So that's my 3.
3 corners.
Obviously, Eric Allen to start. Pick six all over the place. I'm going to go Troy Vincent and then Lito.
Lito.
Yep. I'm sick and tired of my corners not. The Eagles were 4th worst in the league in interceptions last year. I want playmakers. Give me Lito all day. That 100+ interception against the Cowboys. That I'll never forget that moment.
Never.
It's Lito all day, and then obviously Troy Vincent, just the rock, the absolute rock. We were spoiled back then. Troy Vincent, Bobby Taylor, Sheldon Brown, Lito.
We had a secondary back then. Every year we had some good ones from Lito, Shepard, Bobby Taylor, Troy Vincent, Sheldon Brown. Shante Samuels, Al Harris. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We had some monsters back there at the DB spot. But give me your safeties.
B-Doc and Malcolm Jenkins. Obviously, B-Doc. B-Doc was everything. He's my favorite player of all time in any sport. Period. And then I'll never forget his Hall of Fame speech. Just crying my ass off during that speech. Just so great. And then Malcolm. I need a guy that can be
Iron Man.
B-Doc. Iron Man. I love that reference. I need that like leader on and off the field that was the game changer. That was a really sad day when both of those guys left for Denver and for what, New Orleans, I think, or something.
New Orleans, yeah. He went back.
Yeah. So
that's it. It has been a blast with you today. I definitely want to rap with you again. Maybe come on your show or you can come back on my show. Either way, it works out. I love your content. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, go ahead and give everybody your breakdown where they can find you at again.
You can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Crockpot, the Painted Lines YouTube channel. You know, we do constant Eagles, Sixers content all the time, Flyers content all the time. Phillies is a little iffy because Phillies are Phillies. But anyway, you can. That's where I'm at.
All right, guys. Well, go subscribe to this guy's channel. You know, he's putting in the work. He needs some more followers, just like the rest of us. So subscribe to both of our channels, you know, and come and check us out again, because I'm about to run it back again. So love you guys. Like I always say, fly, Eagles, fly. Till next time on Bird Gang Nation Sports Talk, this Birdman, we out.